What it do, though, world? This is your boy, Angel of I Is, and welcoming you to my helpful tips. This is, of course, brought to you by the Most High, because we give praises here to the Most High, because without it, there's no us, and without us, there's no it. And I've come to talk about this new moon in Sagittarius. Yes, new moon, Sagittarius. I am a Sagittarius. So this is really new. Plus, I'm also a third house Sag. So that means this new thing is dealing with community, at least for me. Meaning is dealing with my peoples, my surroundings. A lot of newness in that. New groups, new settings. Okay? If, say, you have Sagittarius in your first house, because I'll go by the houses. So if you have Sagittarius in your first house, that's dealing with a personality. You probably woke up this morning feeling like a new you. If you have it in your second house, that's dealing with your values, how you feel about yourself. Because the one understanding about the houses is that it deals, the first half, 1 through 7, deals with yourself. The second half, 8 through 12, deals with how you relate with everybody else. Okay? Unless you have a reverse chart, and that's a lot to get into. But bottom line is this moon is a very special one. It's extremely unique because from this moon we go into December 21st, which is next Sunday, Monday. And the beauty of that is the coming alignment, which is the great conjunction of Saturn and Jupiter at 0 degrees Aquarius, with the Sun moving into 0 degrees Capricorn. Whoa. So the things that you see changing now is going to affect that point in time in your life. What is it? I don't know. I don't live your life. I only live mine. But I can tell you the houses of where this get kicked off, because this is the spark. Some of you have already changed some of these things in your day-to-day. Some of you are about to. Some of you have gotten to the point where you're at, because this year has been depressing. Let's be real. A lot of people have been depressed. You know why? Because people are losing a sense of purpose. That's what this year should have taught you. It's purpose. There's a lack of sense of that. There's something you've been wanting to do, but because you've been in this demonic structural society that we live in, where you got to pay bills to live and this, that, and the third, around this time, you should have utilized this time to basically transform yourself. So in the terms that we have another lockdown, then this can be something that you listen to that can hopefully get you into the pattern of figuring out who you are on this earth. Because they say that this place is a matrix. Is it not? It's a stimulation. So if that's the case, then you should be able to manifest what it is that you want for yourself moving forward, without having to really utilize the help of other people's. Now, how this moon works, especially depending on which house it's in, is where that aspect of your life is going to shift to put you into the perspective or the path of where you want to go next. Because, mind you, if you're feeling lost, that's because you're waiting for other people to give you an answer to move forward in specific ways that you want to, right? You're waiting for this shot, which is filled full of toxins, in order to maneuver in this society that isn't really for us. I mean, it is and it isn't. But let's be real. At this point, we can see that a lot of what we're seeing in the world today, these are games. Are we not seeing that yet? Or are we still kind of in the lost phase? You can kind of tell that whatever plan somebody had isn't really working. And they're trying, shout out to the Leo King, to pretty much make you feel a story that even to them, they can't even properly play out. That means the veil is lifted. The truth is here. You should be seeing it by now. You should be seeing that they are making people take these shots on television, like they had that lady in New York who happened to be an Afro American. And the reason why they did that was to get more and more Afro Americans to feel comfortable on taking this shot, which is still confusing to me because this went from a China virus to now a black problem, for lack of better terms. And I'm kind of losing the sense of, well, I thought everybody in America was getting this. Though, if you look on the news, it's not the pandemic that's causing the deaths of people. When you have rappers dying every day, you had that uproar of shooting in Chicago, you have people getting killed all over the place. That's not a problem. This scary boogeyman is the problem. When we can look around and see that that's false. So there is a change that needs to happen because we're believing in people and following and getting into groups that we shouldn't be even involving ourselves in, and should be looking forward to taking our power back, taking our own lives into our hands. Because right now they're in the hands of people that are playing the game and want to keep you going in a circle, a habitual circle. And that's the whole point of this great shift. I'm sure a lot of you felt it. You've just been feeling like, ooh, something is changing in the atmosphere. That feeling is the Most High asking you to come along. Let's go on your journey, on your actual purpose, especially if you're feeling depressed at this point, because you're kind of looking at everything and you're like, what is the point? What am I doing? This, that, and the third. I'm not connected to anything. Well, it's time to connect to the Most High. What is Aquarius but communication, people, technology, okay? And you're having the great expander going in there, which is Jupiter. And it's beautiful because it's aligning with this new moon because, one, Jupiter runs Sagittarius and Pisces. And Sagittarius, sextiles, which works well with Aquarius. So this is going to be the next 2 years of great luck. You are able to expand in the way that you want to in the midst of the people. As long as what you are trying to do is kind of to help people. Okay? Next to that, the great planet of Saturn is moving into the same spot where they're both going to stop in the same area, 0 degrees, right next to each other. So this energy, they're not going to collide, obviously, but they're going to be right above each other or right next to each other, either way. And when this happens, this is the energy. Boom. Now, whatever happens, happens. The beauty of it is to utilize this energy to your purpose, to your path. And the other side of this that you should be trying to get into is obviously knowing yourself. All right, so you should have utilized this whole year trying to figure yourself out, but I'm sure you were probably more trying to find other things, other ways to distract yourself because you've probably been trapped in your house all this time and so forth and so forth. So, no, it's not that time. This energy has been hidden. This energy, the last time it happened was in 1226. Hop on Google. Look what happened in that time. That's kind of when, the slavery thing kind of happened. But that's okay. We don't have to get into that. Okay? That was a big shift of power. Well, that power is shifting again. And because it's in Aquarius, it's going to the people. Something I've been talking about all year long. If you follow me on Snapchat and such. It's the great shift. All right? This is where a lot of atheists are about to start heading towards Bibles. Great shifts. Because again, this is a moment in time where people have to remove the veil. Now, shout out to the peace dealer. These are going to be dark times. And Leo King and a couple other people talk about this. But these are going to be dark times. The last light that we have is right now, Sagittarius. What you see and what you notice, you either believe it or you don't. Nobody got time to explain to you things. You got to know what you're seeing already. All right? If you got yourself out of situations that you didn't want to be in and you drag yourself back in there, just know you've already seen what you're supposed to not do. You've already seen the flags. If you ignoring them, well, you're not going to get that extra 15 yards and first down. You declined it and you're going to say 4th and 22. Okay? So that's pretty much how this energy is coming about. Best way to cultivate it, again, starts now with the new moon. So let's run through the houses. So first house, if the sun is in your first house, or the moon's in your first house, that means you have Sagittarius here, which that means you kind of have a Sagittarian personality. You're into adventure, you're into philosophy, you're into religion, you're into teaching, preachy, you're into, on the negative side, addictions, you're into manipulations, you're into, that type of thing. If that's your first house, that's your personality, you dig? So with the moon here, again, shifting. So if you are on the negative side of Sagittarius, now you're about to jump to the positive. It's all depending on how you work yourself. That's the first house of that, okay? Second house, naturally Taurus. But in this case, it means you would have Sagittarius there. So if it's in your second house, that's dealing with your value, your money, your love for yourself, and the way you love others. You're probably very philosophical. You probably preach to people a lot that you value in your day-to-day. You know what I'm saying? And you probably put your emotion really into that, and you probably get really distraught when that person doesn't act in the way that you gave them that guidance, even though they came to you for it. So the thing about Sagittarius, people be coming up to us and asking questions and all this stuff, and then we give them our advice, and then they don't even do it. It's like, why did you come and talk to me then? It's normally Geminis, but that's a whole nother thing. So, but that's the second house right there. It's all dealing in value, new adventurous ways to gain value in yourself, new adventurous ways into making money, taking your hobbies, your personal hobbies and such, and making it a business. That's another part of this time, especially how I talk about it on Snapchat, financial literacy, putting other people on around you to kind of, build your equity up, build that portfolio up. You know what I'm saying? I got my homeboy who's kind of doing some stuff like that exactly right now. So look into that. Third house, where I have it, community. You're going to be probably going around new people. You may have some people even switch up on you because of what you're doing. Because you probably, let's see, third house. So say if third house, Sagittarius. So say if you had like a drinking or smoking or any kind of issue of that nature, you start to flip it. The people that you used to hang out with, your community, because the third house deals with personal self-value, and community, how you relate that amongst each other. That's Gemini, how you communicate that. Okay, so if you have third house here, chances are you probably preachy to a lot of the people that you are around, So maybe you cut that preachiness off and you keep all that to yourself, build yourself up. Okay? So fourth house, that deals with Cancer. This is fourth house deals with Cancer, it deals with home. So privacy, behind closed doors, could probably get a little bit more adventurous, especially if you have a significant other. You might get, a little freaky, things you ain't did before to spice up the bedroom, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature. You might redecorate your house in a different way. You might add a little different touch to it and whatnot, just because of just the energy that you feel. And because it's new moon and it's Sagittarius and it's dealing with your house, a lot of things like that are going to be seen on your sleeve. That's that water sign, You could have a mind and emotion confliction with certain things. So if you have like certain negative energies that are around you, man, you're gonna be deflecting those real quick because like things are clearing out in that aspect of your houses to start bringing in the new. So anything that's been lagging or dead that's around you in your personal space, you about to start booting that out. Hell, I mean, you might even switch up your religion a little bit, okay? Especially if you weren't living right and stuff. Again, you're going to get into a phase where you're going to try to change that aspect of yourself. Sixth house, that deals with, fifth house, that's Leo. But of course, now we have Sagittarius here. So creativity, again, going back to that business talk. Okay, because you want to start creating businesses. You know, for any of the houses that I'm talking about, you know, if there's anything in there, there's something that you definitely want to create, especially when you are going towards this new alignment that's coming up to shift. You want to be prepared. The best way to be prepared is to have a plan. Fifth house, so that's your creativity. Okay, how you plan this out. Fifth house also deals with children. So, you know, if you're older and your kids are older, then they might be coming to you a lot more for a certain style of guidance and stuff. So you might want to start being creative of the way that you communicate with them and how you show them the light to different aspects. You know, you might even want to show them this video, man, who knows? But that deals with children, that deals with creativity, that deals with the fun stuff. So again, you could be more adventurous in that style of form. You know, things that you haven't done before, you're about to just start doing, you know. Because at this point, if, you know, everybody's about to die soon, what's the point of sitting in the house waiting to die? You might as well go out, be creative, and do something new. Expand yourself. Because the fifth house also deals, again, with Leo. That deals with the sun. So in fact, the Sagittarius is here, you're probably going to explore and express that creativity a whole lot more. Okay? Sixth house, that deals with work, that deals with structure, that deals with, like, you know, reality, basically, because it's Virgo. Virgo energy deals with the earth. So you're probably going to be more realistic when it comes to the things in your life, the way things play out in general in your day to day. You know, you're not going to be, you know, allowing certain people to pretty much manipulate you no more. If it doesn't fit with the mindset of what you have, it's probably not going to go. All right. And then, of course, this moon, because it's dealing more with the emotions, the solar plexus that's being affected here. You're going to feel, you're going to know what it is that you need to start just removing from your life. Good or bad, doesn't matter. Those people will come back if they need to be there. If they don't, this is not going to work because you're trying to, especially because it's the sixth house, this is about business. This is an earth sign. Man, I need some structure. I need some stuff to actually go into my favor and in my way, and you in my way for my favor. You dig what I'm saying? So that's the sixth house right there. So, you know, emotional structure. You're going to be able to well balance yourself in order to move forward into the seventh house, which is Libra, which deals with balance anyway. Okay? So if you have Sagittarius in your seventh house, which is another sextile, another air sign that's mixing in with fire. So you might have a new passionate ideal of communicating with others. You know, you may be able to express certain things in more of a, I guess you could say, philosophical way. You can communicate it a lot better. You can focus and place your words in a sense that you can communicate it, because air deals with communication. So, and especially with that alignment, because a lot of the planets that we've had lately were all sitting in Capricorn. So we had a lot of earth energy. Shit was real. You know what I'm saying? So now it's time to take whatever it was that was kind of weighing on you. Boom, it's time to express it out, especially if you have your moon here, because it's going to be dealing with your emotions. And Libra don't like to be unbalanced, man. We like, I'm a Libra rising, so like, you know, I like to keep things real with people. And if you haven't been doing that lately, you've been kind of holding it all that down with all that energy. Now, you about to just, boy, again, that deals with relationships also, that seventh house. So the way you relate, and you know, you may be in something that you've been wanting to get out. Now you're going to get out and you're going to be able to explain it to them in a very comfortable manner, especially if you weren't able to do it before. You definitely going to have the confidence to do it now. Eighth house. That is Scorpio. And that deals again with behind closed doors, deep, dark, cold emotions. So if you have Sagittarius here, which they kind of bond pretty well, you know. But if you have Sagittarius in your eighth house, so the way you speak about the deep that you have inside you, because now you're gonna be talking to people from a soul level. You know what I'm saying? Like when you talk, because if you already talk to a Scorpio, they're very surface level. Even though they go deep and cold, they're very surface with you, kind of like a Pisces when you first kind of talk to them. You know what I'm saying? Now they're gonna take you down a rabbit hole, basically. They're gonna really show you they like. They're gonna show you their background. They're gonna show you like who they really are. Well, I mean, you yourself, you'll be able to, if you are a eighth house, if you are eighth house Sagittarius, then this is where that structure comes into play. This is where you get to highlight certain dark parts of yourself that you either get to embrace or you bury deeper. But in the midst of embracing that, that's what gives you the idea. That's what sparks your movement forward as far as how you want to move yourself while this alignment is happening also. This is how you build businesses, because the eighth house also deals with other people's money. So as long as you right and straight with yourself and know what you want to do as you're moving forward, and you're able to communicate that with other people, then your progress, you'll be able to progress. You'll be able to work with your partners better. You'll be able to you'll be able to work with other people's money better. So when you start your business, you'll be able to relate with the people that are out there, especially because Scorpios, y'all like to keep stuff in the back of your mind and don't really like to speak what you want to speak because you're afraid you'll come off awkward. That shit's stopping. You gonna talk. And people are gonna be like, God damn, I wish she was quiet. Ninth house. Sagittarius, of course. Okay. So certain beliefs, certain structures, certain beliefs, certain ways that you do things. Okay, certain religions that you may be in, certain aspects of yourself is going to change. Just the way that you go about your day-to-day activities, make them more expansive, make them more, believable and realistic to yourself. Okay, because if you think of things in one direction, this will give you a new perspective on it. So this is where, if you've been blaming people for a lot of things, this is where you start looking into yourself, all right, as a Sagittarius, and you explore yourself. Because, again, this is solar plexus, so this is coming from the gut. What do you know? And then when you find that part of yourself and you're able to, really adjust yourself in this manner, then you can start taking what it is that you learn, putting it down on paper, coming up with that idea. Boom. I know as a Sagittarius, when I was younger, I always used to want to be a detective. So that's what kind of got me into astrology and so forth, because it's a different style of detective work. This is how you get to help and figure out people at the same time. Helping people to, find ways for themselves to better themselves. You dig? And that can be something that you probably get involved in too if you have your moon in your ninth house. So then when it comes to just schooling and teaching and, just certain beliefs that people have, you can be the example of how you can move forward as you're, progressing, especially when the lineup comes on the 21st. Moving into Capricorn, which would be your 10th house, which also deals with structure, which also deals with discipline, which also deals with karma, which deals with which deals with karma, which deals with I did say discipline areas already. Okay, so then with the moon highlighting here, then there's your authoritative structure. That's what I was looking for. So the way that you have things in modulation now. The way that you have things moving now are definitely going to shift. You'll have like a different perspective on how you actually want to move forward when it comes, especially to the alignment, because your sign or your planet Saturn is moving into Aquarius already. You know what I'm saying? So, and it's at 0 degrees, so it's an immediate change, especially if you've been feeling down as a Capricorn, because a lot, what, Pluto, Jupiter, Saturn was all in your sign damn near the last 3 years. So the world is definitely caved down on you. Now you get to release, and now you actually get to move forward with everything that you have been trying to do, because the manifestation energy is in your sign and it's going to help you move it. I'm promising you. 11th house. If you have Sagittarius here, so you'll probably become more like preachy towards the people. So you'll be talking more. You'll probably be in more Zoom meetings. You'll be able to link up with other people and get certain projects started. Especially because, depending on how the economy winds up going, you're going to need people around you that kind of knows how to work Bitcoins and, just the new monetary funds that are going to be coming out. You're going to need that. So you're going to have to, especially if you're a Sagittarius, you're going to have to be that example for people to move forward in that essence. And now with all these going into Aquarius, y'all got to be that example, because we're in the age of Aquarius. So as that age progresses, you got to be the example of how the people are going to move. Okay, that's pretty much how that patterns out. And then, of course, 12th house is Pisces, and that is behind closed doors. All right, so that is behind the scenes. That is like, where your full Christ-like energy really comes into place. So you'll probably be digging deeper into spirituality. You'll probably be looking more into the higher self. You want to stay away from escapism because when the way these energies are going to hit you, it can cause you to do that, because, most Pisces, they tend to be shy. So when these energies come to you, you're going to want to lash and kind of go out with certain things. So, and that's taking you out of a specific comfort zone, even though it's that Christ-like energy and you could be teaching somebody something. But of course, it's going to make you have to change, hence new moon. So this is the new direction that you will be going. That will be all of it when you cultivate all 12, because you have all 12 houses, and regardless, at the end of the day, it's all helping to cultivate whom you are to move you further within an actual purpose that you may be looking for. Especially if you've been going through any kind of depressions or going into not even knowing what you're supposed to be doing next. Well, this is the energy that's going to help carry you to what you're supposed to be doing next. The main thing you got to have is faith. And then the other thing you got to have is not to be listening to outside sources that's not coming from you. Word? So those are the 12 houses. I would do cards, but I probably don't even have enough time on this for that. So we're going to leave it at, this is your boy, Angel of our Ears, giving all praises to the Most High, because without it, there's no us, and without us, there's no it. I hope this here helped you out. If you have any comments or any of that stuff, you know where the comment section is. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions. If not, they got a gang of motherfuckers that's talking about the same shit on here. So feel free and explore. This is great energy. If you watch commercials, all they tell you is 5G. That's the next thing that the world's been waiting for. No. This energy that's coming up right now is the energy you should have been waiting for. And this is how it makes it work. So again, be safe. Enjoy yourselves. Peace.